So, 潘志远, why money has value? Excuse me? Why money has value? Okay, you can use money to buy something, right? And why you can use money to buy something? Okay, so the same as Li Boyan, right? So what else? What happens if the government is not there? Chen Youxi, what happens if government is not there? Can you still use money? No? But it seems that the answer is yes. Okay. Why? I have no idea. Okay? So it is really a big question why money has value, because if you look at it, it's either a coin, right? Sorry. Or, oh, sorry, I don't have money with me. Too bad. So anyway, do you have money? Yes, so let us check it, right? Oh, you know, this is mine because the 4 kids are mine, right? So it's mine. Anyway, it's a piece of paper, right? It's a piece of paper. So we call it token, T-O-K-E-N, token. So basically, this piece of paper, even though we call piece of paper, but it's not, because it's 95% cotton. Okay, 95% cotton. So you want to tell it, it takes a little strength, okay? And there's a counterweight measure, right? So you cannot copy it and make it money. And so if you turn it around, a different ink, okay, it will shine in a certain direction and also has different but basically, if you look at, thank you. If you look at US dollars, it will be a lot more different, okay? But anyway, money is just a token. So what is the value there? So anyway, the question to Wang Peizhen. American people are talking about cent, C-E-N-T, 1 cent. What's the discussion there? Do you know? Go ahead. Right. So what's the discussion there? No idea. Okay. Xu Shaoxuan. People are talking about cent. American people and also Trump, right? And Elon Musk, right? Talk about cent. What's the issue? Excuse me? What does that mean? So, hold on. So when we have discussion, you can turn it to the student there, okay? Not me. Okay, it doesn't have to be. So again, sorry. Related, but not exactly what I want. A-YDY. What is the discussion there? Huang Weixin? No idea. 朴国语. They talk about 1 cent, right? You know that? Okay, so what's the issue? What's the point? Xu Jiazhen. They talk about 1 cent, right? Li Boyan, you want to say something?
1分钱的成本是3分钱.
3.7.
Yeah.
And so.
所以没有必要继续印1分钱.
That's your point? And do you agree with it?
Agree. 因为他那边的人现在很少用 cent.
Just like $1 NT, right? Why you want to use it? Okay, because you cannot buy it. So, okay, 朴国语. What can you buy with $1 now? 1 NT. It used to be that we can use it to call, right? We have payphone. What is payphone? payphone, 4 words. The last two is phone.
公共电话。
Exactly. Okay, good. It used to be that you can use $1 to make a phone call, right? But now, can you find a payphone? The answer is no, right? So, anyway, what can you use with $1? But I can tell you what you can use with $2. Okay? In 大玉路, okay, 大玉 Road, okay, there is a government subsidized swimming pool. Okay, if you want to go there, if you live in a certain area, it can be free. It's free, but you have to pay $2 for insurance. That's what you can do with $2. But if you do not live in that area, you have to pay 42. So anyway, but the function, okay, of coins is to help the economy circulate, right? To buy something for. If you just look at the cost of issuing coin and say it's too much, so you have to get rid of it, I think that's totally different issue, because it is the function of coin to facilitate, facilitate means to make transaction easier. And so it is there for that purpose. But of course, anything has a cost. But if you don't use coin, 1 cent coin, what else can you do, right? Because, Canada has no 1 cent, because in 2013, now it's 2025, right? In 2013, they already get rid of coin. So if you use cash, what are you gonna do? If you use cash, if it is 1 cent or 2 cent, what does that mean? It becomes 0 cent. If it is 3 cents, 4 cents, what happened? It's gonna be 5 cents. So the next coin, the little coin, 1 cent, and the next one is 5 cents. 5 cents is even worse. I heard that the cost of producing 1 nickel, we call it nickel, I think it's 47 cents or something. But anyway, if you want to make a transaction work, you need to have it. So this is when you use cash. But when you use credit card, what happened? Nothing, because it's just the same. If you use credit card, right? You don't use cash. 1 cent pay 1 cent, 2 cent pay 2 cent, 3 cent pay 3 cent, 4 cent pay 4 cents. If you use credit card, because it doesn't matter, right? You don't use any coins. But if you use cash, 1 cent, 2 cent, it becomes 0 cent, and 3 cent, 4 cent, it becomes 5 cent. So if you are the customer, what would you do? Right? What would you do? You try to get it to 1 and 2, right? But it is difficult because in the US, sorry, it's not US, Canada, right? Canada, you have to pay tax. So let us say you pay $1 for something, but you ended up paying more because it has sales tax. Just like, so in Taiwan, if you pay $150, you get $150, right? But in the US, no, you pay $150. Usually that's $150 plus tax, and you have no idea how it's going to work out. But anyway, there are other issues here, and let us move on. So money, is very important, but some people still confuse why money has value. So why Bitcoin cannot be used as money? First of all, everyone here, we all have NT, right? But in Taiwan, if you want to buy something, you want to do any transaction, you need to use NT. Can you use US dollar? No. Can you use renminbi? No. Can you use Thai baht? Or Vietnam money? No. But sometimes, if it is on the table, can you do that? The answer is probably yes. So for example, last year I went to Finland for a conference. Finland is a European country and they use euro. But you know, if I want to get euro, I have to pay for euro. And also I have to pay for transaction fee, right? If you buy US dollar, Japanese yen, whatever, you have to pay not only money, but also transaction fee, okay? So for me, it's kind of terrible. So I don't want to get euro. But what do I carry? I carry US dollars. And, you know, I take a taxi. And I tell the driver, do you take US dollar? He said, yes. Why? Because US dollar is a international currency, right? It is taken everywhere. So also 2 years ago, I went to Portugal, okay? The same thing. I want to take a taxi. And I said, you know, I don't have US dollars. No, sorry, I don't have euro. Can I pay US dollar? He said, yes. But of course, I have to pay a little more, right? Because, you know, if this guy take my US dollar to buy euro, okay, to turn it back to euro, of course there's transaction fee, so I have to pay. But, you know, I would rather do that rather than, you know, pay for the transaction fee in Taiwan because I don't really need that much, okay. So, I mean, a lot of issues there. What else? So let us talk about the functions of money. Okay, unit of account, medium for exchange, store of value, and then deferred payment. Okay, so in Qin Dynasty, okay, Qin Dynasty, what is used for unit of account? She just said, in Qin Dynasty, what is used for money? Excuse me? One precious metal. Precious means very expensive. One precious metal. So for example, say France or England, right? They beat China and they ask for money, right? What is that? One precious metal. We basically have two precious metal, right? One is, can you tell me precious? Precious metal. What is metal? Okay, precious. Two word. 公司语. Excuse me? No. Yeah, it's real, but it's not the term, okay? Huang Weixin? Exactly. So, in Qin Dynasty, I mean, we mentioned it a lot. You remember that? No, it's not, but yeah, gold is precious, right? But it's not used by Qin Dynasty. What does Qin Dynasty use? Right, silver, right? Silver. Okay, but silver can buy a lot of things, okay? So just like, you know, if you go to buy, you know, say, breakfast, right? You probably don't use, even there's a NT note, okay, with 2,000, right? So you probably won't use that because it is too much, okay? And if you go to a, you know, breakfast shop, okay, cafe, probably you use 1,000 or 500, maybe just 100, right? So it means, okay, it is unit of account. Sometimes it doesn't exist. So for big transaction, you use silver, but usually, okay, for small transaction, you use copper. So what is this? This is there, and this is one. One basically means one, okay. Medium of exchange is very easy, right? So unit of account, 计价单位. Medium of exchange, 交易媒介. Store of value, 储存价值. Defer payment, 延迟支付. All these four functions based on this. Money must be valuable. Okay, money. So in the past, money is called commodity money. Okay, commodity money. And why money has value? It's because of the commodity. So in the past, almost all coins use gold or silver. So it's kind of interesting. A lot of people go after sinking ships. Okay, the ship sunk. Okay, and if you want to get some treasure, okay, treasure. So what is treasure? Treasure. What is treasure? There is a story called Treasure Island. Treasure Island. Louder.
宝藏.
Exactly. If you want to dig out treasure on sunk ship, okay, the ship sunk. They drop to the bottom of the sea, okay? It is European ships can bring you profit, but not Chinese, okay? Why? Because Chinese use a lot of copper. Is copper valuable? Yes, it is. But what about silver and gold? Much more expensive, right? So that's the point. If you go to Penghu, right, and sometimes there are some, ships sunk there, and some people want to dig out some, treasures. But anyway, it's all copper. So okay, a lot of things. And then suppose we finish money supply and money demand. So here, right? So you get an interest rate. Okay. This is the equilibrium interest rate, equilibrium money supply. And this curve can shift to the left, to the right, and this can shift up, can shift down, okay? So basically with this, you can understand the working of the economy. And then also you get central bank. It is all central bank, but it has different names. For example, for the US, okay, it is called Federal Reserve. In Taiwan, Central Bank. In Japan, Bank of Japan. In England, okay, Bank of England. Okay, so they have different names, but basically the function is the same. And the target there is also growth and stability. Stability of price level, stability of the economy, and growth, of course, it is economic growth. And then we will discuss the tools that central bank has. And then we're going to get to ISLM. Okay, ISLM. So what is IS? investment, and saving. So you know that the equilibrium condition for an economy is I equals S. And the equilibrium for the money market is money demand equals money supply. So here it is liquidity. Liquidity. And that is money demand. And here is money supply. And so from IS curve and LM curve, you're going to get here it is Y and here it is R. And so here it is IS curve and here is LM curve. Okay? So basically, if you have stimulus, monetary policy, LM curve shift to the right, and the opposite LM shift to the left. And the same thing here, if you have stimulus fiscal policy, IS curve shift to the right, and if you try to slow down the economy, then IS curve shift to the left. And so you also have spatial IS LM curve. So IS can be vertical, IS can be horizontal, and the same thing. LM can be vertical, LM can be horizontal. There are many questions here that have appeared in Taiwan's tests, either for graduate school entrance exam or for public servants. So this part will be very important there. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to get to growth model. So Keynes, the Keynes model we will discuss is one of it, okay? And his idea is that you need to have more consumption to get economy going. And then, or you have investment, government expenditure, or exports. Oh, okay, all these are something that you can use, okay? And then we have Soros model. This one is more complicated. Okay, we have to start from production function, so we will spend a lot of time on it, okay? And then you have international trade. And international finance. So Trump talk about Taiwan stealing Americans' semiconductor industry, okay? So what would you say? Xu Shaoxun, Trump said Taiwan steal Americans' semiconductor manufacturing. What would you say? You know what I'm talking about? Can you say that in Mandarin? Exactly. So what would you say? Louder. Okay. What else? Louder. Do we really steal America's semiconductor industry? Louder. Pu Guo Yu. Yes or no? Yes. You should tell Zhang Zhongmo, right? Maurice Chen. He probably disagree. So we steal their industry. So what do we steal? You know, technology or material or whatever. What's they call? Intellectual property. What's intellectual property? Intellectual property. Exactly. So do we do that? You know that TSMC, you know TSMC, right? What is it? Okay. They have a lot of patents. What is patent? 2 words. You should know something about it. Patent. Patent. Hold on.
No idea.
Oh, really? Guang Yufeng. Chen Yuxiang. Patent is something that only you can do. If someone want to do it, they have to pay you a fee. Exactly. Okay, good. Excellent. So if Trump says Taiwan steal America's semiconductor industry, the answer is no. Okay? Why? Because a lot of patents are from TSMC itself. Okay? So if you say intellectual property rights, okay, we have our own. We don't use American technology. Okay? We may use American equipment, but they are willing to sell us, right? And most likely it's from which company? It's Netherlands. Sorry, I cannot remember. It's called EMSO. Anyway, sorry, it's at the tip of my tongue. And why I'm talking about this is called comparative advantage. Another one is called absolute. And also, if you look at semiconductor industry, it's very complicated. Okay, first of all, it's very complicated, and there are many sectors. Okay, there are many sectors. For example, AI is also one of it, right? AI is also one of it. So, can anyone tell me who is the leader now? Pan Ziyuan. AI, who is the leader now? NVIDIA, right? Is it TSMC? No. So if Trump says, you know, Taiwan, TSMC steal their semiconductor industry, the answer is no. NVIDIA is still there, right? Okay, what about Intel? Does TSMC make any CPU? The answer is no, right? Because the design, okay, design is something that TSMC never done. Okay, which one does the design? Okay, which company in Taiwan does the design? Yang Junxiang. Which one? I'm not sure about its English name, but I think it's called Union Media, 联发科. Okay, so there's a lot of different area, right? TSMC is only focused on manufacturing. So what is TSMC? Taiwan. T, S, semiconductor. M, manufacturing. C, corporation, or you say company. Okay, so TSMC only focus on manufacturing. Does it do design? No. Does it do anything else? No. Okay, so anyway, and here, if you're going to talk about supercomputer, which one is the leader? Taiwan, US, China, Europe. Which one? 郑彩竞. As I say, right? In terms of supercomputer, which one is the leader? US, China, Taiwan, Europe? Which one? US. Okay? So, I mean, Trump is crazy, right? He says a lot of, he probably never know what's going on in terms of the semiconductor industry. But he talks a lot, right? And unfortunately, he has other power. So anyway, if you look at this, Taiwan has an advantage comparatively, okay, labor cost. And also, in Hsinchu, right, is a very small area with a lot of companies there. And so they can discuss, share their ideas, and, produce more efficiently, okay? But if you look at absolute, right, definitely America is much more powerful, right? And they have so many big companies, but it doesn't mean they have to do everything, okay? One company called Intel. Intel used to be a very famous company, right? Zhang Yusheng. What is Intel? No idea? Really? 公司名 Intel. Intel, okay. Intel, the focus is making CPU for computers, right? But it also wants to compete with TSMC on manufacturing. But unfortunately, which one wins? 公司名 TSMC, right? So, competitive advantage. Intel has a lot of power, a lot of money, right? A lot of technology, okay? And very big factory. But what happened? TSMC wins because of competitive advantage, okay? So, this tells you the patterns of international trade. And also, we talk about international finance, and there's something called PPP. So what is PPP? Purchasing power parity. Okay, purchasing power parity. And then there is a term called Big Mac index. Okay, let's get back here. Lin Weixun, what is Big Mac index? Okay, good. Do you know what's going on there? What is it used for? No. 冯杰。
它是那个每周都调整那个它价格的一个。
Not quite. The point is here, PPP, purchasing power parity. The idea is that we want to find the value of, say, NT, right? In comparison to US dollar, Japanese yen, or euro, whatever currency. We are trying to find the value of one currency, NT, in relationship to US dollar, Japanese yen, whatever, all these. Okay. But if you want to compare all these, there is a problem, right? For example, if you want to say car, right? Car. A car has very, different components, engines, and, the design, it could be very different. But what about Big Mac? Big Mac is the same in Taiwan here, the same in US, right? And also the same in Japan, okay? So when you go to a country to get Big Mac, you know that it's not good, right? Big Mac is never good, but it's the same. You know what you can expect from a Big Mac, right? So it is also called one price theorem. if it is the same thing, it should have the same price. Okay, but in Taiwan it's in NT, right? In US it's US dollars. In Japan it's Japanese yen, right? In Korea it's won. Okay, so if say in sorry, I'm not quite sure about the price, but let us say a Big Mac is $5. Or it couldn't be $5. It could be more, say $7. Okay, in the US. And in Taiwan, I think it is about, 140. Okay, so from here, sorry, this is NT, right? NT, and this is US. So if in the US you buy a Big Mac for $7, this is all imagined. I'm not sure, what it is. Just give you an example. So in this case, what happened? 1 NT, okay, 1 US dollar can buy 20 NT. Okay, this is the way it is. Okay, because you suppose 1 Big Mac in the US is the same as 1 Big Mac in Taiwan. Okay, but the question is, are they the same? Xiao Xiangjun. So is the Big Mac in Taiwan the same as the Big Mac in the US? Is it the same? Why? It's quite interesting. US is so big, right? The Big Mac in New York, the price is different from what's going on in San Francisco, Los Angeles, Portland, whatever. It's totally different. Or in Washington, Oregon, okay, it's totally different because you have different property, right? You have different rent. The rent is different. And also, what about labor? Is the labor in Taiwan the same as the labor in the US? The answer is no. But, if you look at food, it's most likely very similar, okay? But the same thing, if you look at in Taiwan, even though the price can be the same, okay? The price in Pingdong, a Big Mac, will be the same as 1 Big Mac in Taipei or Taichung. But can you tell me, is it really the same thing? She doesn't. Are they really the same? Are you sure? What do you think about it? I think the rent in Taichung and Taipei much more expensive than Pingdong, right? Probably, okay? So, because if you want to make a hamburger, what would you need? You not only need bread, beef, oil, kitchens, all these things, but also labor, and also what? A space, the rent. And the rent will be different, right? So, another issues there, but we will discuss only the most simple things there to make things easier. And let me briefly tell you about Phillips curve, and then we're gonna call it a day. So this is a brief review of what we have done before, and remember that we're probably going to mention that again, okay, during class. This is Y, okay, this is P, okay, and this is aggregate demand, and this is aggregate supply, okay. So when you increase consumption, investment, export, what happened? This is going to go to the right, okay? You have AD plus. And then what you get? You get GDP goes up, right? GDP goes up, production goes up, it means employment goes up. So unemployed goes down, right? And what would you have? Price level goes up, right? Price level goes up. So inflation goes up, okay? So here, that is Phillips curve, the standard Phillips curve. You talk about short run, okay? Talk about short run. In the short run, okay, inflation and unemployment is negatively related, okay? Inflation and unemployment is negatively related. But there is also another way to get inflation. YP aggregate supply and aggregate demand. And suppose there's an increase in cost. For example, everyone knows in the 1970s you have oil crisis. So aggregate supply curve shift to the left. Aggregate supply decreases. And so what you get? Y goes down and P goes up. So Y goes down, production goes down, employment goes down, and unemployment goes up. And here you have inflation goes up. So in this case, what you get? You get positive slope, Phillips curve. Okay? So if you have stagflation, Phillips curve will become positive slope. And usually in the short run, it is negatively slope, okay? But in the very long run, it will be vertical because whatever affects inflation, it is in the money market, okay? And the labor market will not be affected by inflation. It's only determined by what's going on in terms of the labor market. Okay, let's call it a day. So see you next week. We will start from money market, okay, and money and all these issues. Thanks.